South Asia has complex socio-culture contexts with a range of intersecting dimensions of exclusion and vulnerability that further compound gender inequalities. Exclusion and vulnerability are due to different factors such as gender, age, disability, social identity, sexual orientation and gender identity, geographic location, and income status. The intersection or overlap of these sources in the most disadvantaged reflects the need to pursue gender equality and social inclusion interdependently. This plight of the excluded and vulnerable has been featured in the news reports and studies of international media and development organizations, such as the situation of Hijras in Bangladesh, women with disabilities in India, Dalit women in Nepal, and older people in Sri Lanka. The ABC News Prime, an international news agency, reports the situation of Hijras in Bangladesh who experience different forms of discrimination.
We are socially neglected. People look at us negatively.
Many of them have been rejected by their families. Rajani Hijra says all of her family members, including her mom and dad, used to beat her. She came to Dhaka alone when she was just 14 years old. She says it was nearly impossible to find work because people didn't want to hire a Hijra. And like many others, she had little choice but to resort to the streets.
We are living by collecting money and begging. We have to feed ourselves. It's the only way we can survive.
The US Aid for International Development shares a story of Zubeda from India. She has polio, a condition that has become a reason she was treated differently, why society has cast her aside, and why she was told that her life isn't worth living.
मेरा नाम जुबैदा है। मैं कलवा कुर्ती से रहती हूँ। मेरी शादी हो गई, मेरे 2 बच्चे। मैं टेलरिंग काम करती। मेरे छोटे जब पोलिया है। वायरस हो गया, नहीं चल सकती, बिल्कुल बंद करा दी। पोलियो की वजह से मैं बहुत प्रॉब्लम आती, सीधा बैठ नहीं सकती, बहुत दूर चले तो थकावट आ जाती, पैरां भी खींचे सर का वो होता। पोलियो की वजह से ठीक से काम नहीं करती, नहीं करो तो भी करना पड़ता है क्योंकि मैं महिला हूँ। विकलांग महिलाओं को सही नहीं देखती, मामूल जैसा आदमी है वैसा नहीं देखती। अगर से मर्द बार है तो ऐसा नहीं देखते थे शायद। मेरे जैसे विकलांग महिला को अब गाली से भी बातें बोलते, लंगड़ी है बोलते, कुछ काम नहीं कर सकती है बोलते, फिर थोड़े लोगों मारते। बहुत दिल पे बहुत मार पड़ता दिल पे।
A documentary film of Deutsche Welle, a German public state-owned international broadcaster, illustrates the case of a Dalit woman in Nepal who shares that caste-based discrimination is far more painful than being income poor.
As a Dalit woman, I face many problems living here. I'm a day laborer. When I work for someone in an upper caste house, they usually don't give me food. I have to go to a cafe. At the cafe, they ask me to eat my meal outside and rinse off my dishes myself.
Dalits are traditionally considered impure. In the caste system, they're the lowest of the low.
The World Bank Human Development Department South Asia region features the experiences of older people in Sri Lanka who are left to manage the physical and financial difficulties.
Within our family, our children look to the grandparents for affection and care. This is a two-way process. The elderly looking after the young and the young finding time to look after the elderly. This, however, is changing in the modern family because in a competitive and a progressive society, the demands that are made on this family doesn't allow them the time to look after the elderly. Old people who can care for themselves, value their independence. However, because of the lack of income support, they have to become dependent on their children.